Yo, what's going on, everybody? The past 24 hours in football has been absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And you know what? Let me just take you guys through some of the things that have happened in the last 24 hours. And we're just going to talk about it and get into it right now. So, first things first, there has been 12 teams who have spoken about joining the European Super League, i.e., Arsenal, Man City, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid. You got Juventus and AC Milan, right? The 6 Premier League teams have announced that they will be joining this European Super League. That is one, right? The next thing that took place is, of course, the UEFA have now banned these clubs from their domestic, international, and European tournaments. That was what subsequently happened afterwards, or subsequently suspended those tournaments, right? So the Champions League, the Europa League, the Euros, the World Cup, all are currently suspended. That's the second thing. Now, third, you have Jose Mourinho this morning is subsequently sacked by Tottenham Hotspur. Jose Mourinho has been sacked. Yes, Jose Mourinho has been sacked. And this came out this morning that Jose Mourinho is going to be sacked. Do the two things have anything to do with each other? I don't think so. I think Jose was sacked subsequently after the fact. And Fabrizio Romano has been tweeting about it, that it has no correlation to the Super League and why Jose was sacked. Right? So yes, Jose was sacked and it has no link. So let's just look at this right here. I am in shock. I can't believe any of this right now. I can't believe what's going on. It's absolutely going crazy. But this is what it says. It says Jose is sacked and it's not linked to the Super League. Never refused to take training. He has been fired because of the results and nothing else. So yes, that has taken place, right? That is another thing. Now, the next thing is that apparently Arsenal have now left the ECA. The ECA being the European, I think, club associations. And if you guys know, Vinai was actually one of the guys who Vinai was one of the gentlemen who was actually involved in that. So Vinai has now stood down in his position in the ECA, and Arsenal have left the ECA. Now, this tells me that Vinai was not knowing of this situation. He was unaware of this situation. He was unaware of what was going on. He was unaware of what actually was happening at this club throughout in the background. He was unaware of the whole transpiring situation. That's one thing. Now, the next thing I'm about to say, it hurts. It definitely hurts. But it looks like if this goes through, that means the Champions League as we know it is never going to happen ever again as we know it. The situation of the Champions League will never be the same, right? And moments like this will be remembered as the closest moment that we've ever gotten to a Champions League. We will never see. Arsenal Football Club, the club that I support, I've always wanted them to win the Champions League. I've always wanted us to be competing at that level and getting opportunities to win the Champions League. Honestly, at this point, if things continue the way they go, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. Arsenal will never get that opportunity to win that Champions League. Arsenal will never get that opportunity to actually be in the competition. It's just going to be a situation where football is now, as we know it, has changed, and it's officially going to change. We're just never going to get that opportunity ever again. Never again. It's just so sad. It's just so sad, guys. Like, the competition as we know it, everything as we know it, everything the way that we used to support our clubs, the way that we used to interact with our team, everything as we know it, it's gone. The season in itself is done. Why are we even competing in this season? This season is a write-off. There's nothing to play for. Europa League doesn't matter. Champions League doesn't matter. Premier League position doesn't matter. League position doesn't matter. Everything does not matter, because if this goes through, this will be the last time you've seen us even competing for the Champions League, first of all, in my lifetime. And we're never going to get back to this level, because the Champions League in itself will be a second B competition. It will no longer be the A competition. The Champions League will now be the equivalent to the how some people view the FA Cup. It will be lesser. It will be a lesser competition to the European Super League, and that hurts to say. Like, honestly, we grew up watching this. I grew up watching this. I grew up watching this my whole entire life, and I'm never gonna get to see my club win this major competition ever, because it's gonna be replaced with the subsequent Super League. And the subsequent Super League, for me, as a North American fan, it doesn't have anything to do with North America. It doesn't have anything to do with being American culture, North American culture. Let's not compare that. In American culture, there is a thing called parity. They try to share the wealth. You see the LA Lakers giving money to the Memphis Grizzlies and other teams that are struggling financially down the pecking order. This right here is greed at its best. Greed at its best, right? Honestly, I don't know what to say to you guys anymore. It's just very sad. It's a sad thing. Like, I've heard guys like Lee Judges talking about it. I've heard guys like DT talking about it. I've heard guys like Terry, Troops, all the big Arsenal guys talking about it, how it's just sad that this competition has been ruined and everything. Like, I am totally, equivocally, and 100% against anything that has to do with the Super League. At the end of the day, if it goes through, we're football fans, we're probably going to end up watching it, right? But as of right now, I would love to see there be some sort of compromise, some sort of thing, because I want to see my club competing for that Champions League. I want to see us at one point back in it, because if we get back in it, we deserve it. But right now, this is strictly a financial money grab. This is strictly a financial money grab, and moments like this won't happen again, because if you lose, you don't have the desire to get back and win anymore. You don't have the desire to get back and do anything anymore. It's an absolute disgrace. I'm pissed off, angry. I don't know what to say. This is that. Now, guys on Twitter, come join us on YouTube for the rest of the video. Now let's talk about Jose Mourinho getting sacked. We're going to talk about Jose. We're going to talk about everything else. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was Arsenal possibly never winning the Champions League again. It's just so sad. We could possibly never win that ever again. Ever. Now, before I get into the European Super League and get into everything else, let's talk about Jose. Jose's been sacked. It is a good thing that he's been sacked, though. For Tottenham fans, it's a bad thing for us football fans, because Jose Mourinho getting sacked shows they have a statement of intent. It shows that they actually care and they want to do some stuff. Like, the club has a club announcement. This is the official club announcement, right? Okay, this is the official Tottenham announcement. Jose Mourinho has been sacked. Now, for me, Jose Mourinho being sacked is one of two things. Jose Mourinho getting sacked, for me, just means football is mad. Absolutely mad. Football is absolutely mad. Football has gone nuts lately. This is all that this means for me. Football has absolutely gone nuts. They have seen the money. Tottenham have seen the money from the Super League, and they're like, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for us to just segue away from this manager. That's what I thought. But you know what? Fabrizio Romano came out and said it has nothing to do with that. So, hey, this is what the club statement is. The club have announced that Jose Mourinho and his staff have been sacked, right? So you see 4 of his staff members, and they have been relieved of their duties from Tottenham, right? And that's the official club statement. They earlier in the day, they also announced that. So, in my opinion, Jose Mourinho being sacked, he's been relieved of his duties, and believes Daniel Levy made the decision on Friday after the Everton game. Interesting, right? Jose Mourinho being sacked subsequently now leaves Ryan Mason, a man who's actually younger than Harry Kane, in charge of the club, right? The past 24 hours, in my opinion, have been absolute madness. I'm going to say this right now. In my fandom of football and watching sports, I have not seen anything this massive of a bombshell drop since. And I'm not talking about Jose being sacked. I'm talking about this whole situation. I've not seen a massive bombshell like this being dropped ever, right? Daniel Levy's statement on Jose Mourinho, personal level, I have worked and enjoyed him regardless what the things are not working as both had thing. Wow, interesting. So he's put out two statements talking about Jose Mourinho and his time with Jose Mourinho. Jose and his staff have been with us through some of our most challenging times. Jose is a true professional and has shown enormous resilience during the pandemic. Interesting. He gives him a and then on a personal level, I have enjoyed working with him and regret that things have not worked out as we both have initiatives, and he will always be welcome here. Interesting. So he's saying kind words to Jose, understanding. Everyone just seems to be talking about this whole Jose situation. I knew Jose was done after I seen guys like Son crying. I knew he was done after that. Let's be real. We knew that Jose was done after that. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the link in a second. Before we get any further, I need to talk about one more thing. Right? I need to talk about one more thing. There's a situation where the Champions League, they have not only have the Super League put a new format, but the Champions League have put a new format. So we have to talk about that too, right? So just before I open the link out to anybody, let's talk about this Champions League format, because this is the cusp of the situation. This is the whole situation. So the Champions League have approved a new 36 team format, right? The new 36 team format. How does it work? How does this format work, right? Let's find out how it works. I'm gonna open this article on The Guardian, and we're gonna find out how it works. So this is the Swiss model, as they call it, right? The Swiss model. So the Swiss model will be subsequently, you will now have 36 teams. One second. The Swiss model will begin on the 24th, the 2024. Okay, it's set to be approved for. Okay, so that is when this is about to begin, and the Swiss model was founded by the guys at UEFA. What it will be. Let's see. I need a better explanation of this. So they've subsequently approved this. This is supposed to be for Monday. So this was the whole thing that they did was to interfere with that. They knew that the Super League information would interfere with that, so they have released their own statement. And let's get this statement up on the board. This is what they've released. Oh man, no, this is okay. That has nothing to do with that. Okay, so the Super League is we already know what the Super League is. It's the 20 teams, and they're gonna have their own league. But the subsequent other model that they were trying to do was they were trying to do two different models. The Swiss model, which is a league that has about 10 more teams, 10 games. Each team plays each other, more lucrative money. At the same time, it's going to be similar to the Champions League, right? And that's I kind of like the Swiss model. Because it doesn't change. It doesn't change a lot when it comes down to it. I'll show you how it actually works, right? So the Swiss model, this is how it is. Okay, so I got the image now. So there's going to be 36 teams. Here we go. Let me get this up on the board for you guys, so you guys can see what we're talking about. So it's going to be 36 teams. There's going to be absolutely no group stages. No group stages at all. Group stages are abolished, right? It's going to be 10 games versus 10 opponents, right? Top 8 teams progress to the last 16. Okay, the bottom 9 to 24 teams play in the remaining games in knockout stages. Right, so it's going to be almost like a playoff system, where 9 teams automatically progress to the round of 16, and their opponents in the round of 16 are determined by a pre-game tournament between the 9th and the 24th best team. Okay, are you still with me? If I'm losing you, let me know, people. If I've lost you, let me know. So the way it's going to work is it's going to be a tournament. It's going to be a league with a subsequent a knockout bracket. But that knockout bracket has a predetermined tournament to get into that. It's kind of confusing. I'm sorry. Let me break it down again. 36 teams. Okay, no group stages. 10 teams, 10 games versus 10 opponents in the 36 teams, right? So you're not going to play every single team in that league. Okay, still with me? Next, eight of those teams will automatically advance. The other 8 teams that face them in the round of 16 will be determined by another knockout stage with the remaining teams from the 9th to the 28th. With the 28 teams. So what will happen is you're subsequently guaranteed 10 games plus if you're one of the 9th to 24 teams that you're going to play in a play-in tournament. Okay? So it's subsequently going to have a round of 32 to determine who gets into the round of 16. But they face the higher seeded 8 teams. Okay? So you basically get a bye. You basically get a bye if you're one of those teams, and this is how this is going to work. Now, this is completely different from the Super League. Super League is going to have about 15 to 18 teams, and they're going to play a league format. They're going to have 38 games or 30 games, depending on how many teams they have in the league. Where this right here is just 36 teams. You're not going to face Real Madrid and Barcelona every week. You're not going to face all the big teams every week. It's still going to be lucrative, but regardless, it's going to be different. So that's how this is going to work. I hope this gives you more explanation and understanding of how they're trying to do this, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to open the lines to you guys, but before I open the lines, let me try to get another image to explain this a little bit further. So yeah, so this is called the European Swiss model. This is called the European Swiss model. This is called the Swiss model, and if you guys want to watch the full video on it, they explain this specifically in a video that I've seen. Where is it? They explain this specifically in an actual article. So yeah, it's a massive reconstruction of the Champions League. You still qualify the same. Qualification is still the same. There's some pros and cons to it, but of course, it does stop the Super League from happening, and you still have a draw. You will still have a draw. You'll still have UEFA in charge. You'll still have those guys in charge. But the thing is, these guys don't want that. They don't want this to happen. The reason why they don't want this to happen is because they see it as a possibility, if it does happen, that it will end and completely abolish a lot of the stuff going on. And I hear that. So yeah, so that is how that works. I hope you guys get it. But yeah, I'm going to put out the link. If you guys want to jump on, let me know. So yeah, in the last 24 hours, absolute madness. Arsenal can never compete in the Champions League ever again because we have subsequently left the ECA, which is a part of UEFA, which is the governing body for the Champions League. It's just mad. Then you have the situation where everybody's just up and going. It's mad. Jose Mourinho has been sacked. Was it a good thing? I think Jose Mourinho getting sacked was a good thing for Tottenham fans. Was it a good thing for rivals? Probably not, because they could now go get a top manager. And with the European Super League coming, they could easily go and get themselves a guy like Nagelsmann now, if Leipzig are not in the Super League. Am I wrong? It does benefit parties. But yeah, let's go to Hassan. Hassan, what are you saying?
All I'm going to say, right, that this massive Super League, I think, is won, man. We've already lost a war. Like, they've been planning it for years, man. They've been planning it for over a decade. Like, with the Mourinho getting sucked, right, that's just basically a PR move, like, just to get the focus out of the way for Tottenham, like, getting into the Super League, if you understand what I'm saying, man. That all that just doesn't make sense, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, the 300 million that they're gonna get, like, all the clubs are good, they're gonna get. Like, at the moment, fans are upset. But when you hear Arsenal say, all right, we're gonna go in for Jack Grealish with the 300 million, we're gonna go for this, and that, they're gonna try calming all the fans down, and watch how fans will slowly turn and accept the Super League.
Bro,
Okay.
That's all
we
I'm
cannot
Let
do
me
it,
saying.
just
man.
let me just answer this question 1 second. So, guy says, what does it mean when the clubs leave the ECA? What it means is that you have left the governing body. Let me explain to you what the ECA is. ECA is the European Club Association. Okay, ECA is the body that represents the interests of the professional association football clubs in the in UEFA. The sole such body recognized by UEFA and its members, each of the UEFA club members, right? Founded in 2008. This is a governing body to govern all the European clubs, so they follow rules and regulations and abide by certain rules.
So I translate it further. It's basically like if a club leaves ECA, they won't be able to participate in Champions League or any type of UEFA competition. So Champions League, Europa League,
Bro,
etc.
can I, Hassan? Bro, I
It's
honestly
a
think,
mockery.
I was watching the football terrorists,
Thanks,
and
Hassan.
they thinking it's bro, they thinking it's like what's it called, a bluff. This cannot be a bluff. If this is a bluff, this is the biggest bluff. Why would you leave the ECA? Why would you leave the UEFA? You will never do that because that is too risky. You're playing your hand way too risky. I know these clubs got nothing to lose, but honestly, I'm not even joking. Yeah, these clubs and these owners, they need to be banned. They need to be relegated. If they're not in if they don't get this league, yeah, they need to get relegated. Arsenal Football Club need to get relegated. What they did today, last night, yeah, could ruin football. This is treason. This is treason, bro. They have ruined. They're gonna ruin football with this idea. They need to get sacked. They need to get relegated to the fifth league. But I will still support Arsenal. But this is gonna destroy clubs. Every single club down the pyramid. No more Leicester City. No more Burnley. I know we don't like these teams there, but imagine we were one of those teams. You need to put yourself in that position. Like, what if I was a Leicester fan? What if I was a Villa fan?
Oh my
Bro,
God. Guys, the zone wants exclusivity streaming rights for this crap. That's what?
Of course they do.
It's probably
Igal,
going to be Amazon as well, really. Amazon
Igal,
design.
listen,
It won't be Sky.
Igal, listen, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, go
Igal,
ahead, bro.
can I just tell you a little story? In 2012, right, I saw my team win the Champions League for the first time in my history, right?
Yeah.
In 2010, I watched Carlo Ancelotti win the double for the very first time in our history. Those moments, right, with this new Super League, never going to exist again. You're never going to see your team win a double. You're never going to experience the enjoyment, the excitement of seeing your team, let's say, finish out in the top four and getting back into the Champions League. You're never going to, none of that's going to go. All the emotions going to go. You're going to go into a league where what, you finish sixth or seventh and you still get 400 million every season. What, they get spanked? What's the point of it, man?
Listen,
bro, you know this is the American
can
owners that are doing
Mine
this.
says, can Arsenal finish in the top 10 in the European Super League? The
No,
way
that's
the
my
way the
point.
European Super League is going to work,
You
it's going to
might
be
get Jack
it's
Grealish.
going to be
Though.
such an exclusivity party that what it does is it creates a level of parity between the Premier League clubs and the top clubs in Europe because they are afraid that the Premier League is getting so massive that you have teams like Everton that
No,
can outspend Barcelona and Real Madrid.
That's not egal. No, that's not.
No,
Basically,
that's one of the
American. Yeah,
that's
one of
that's what the European clubs benefit from having a Super League.
Yeah, but what about the look? Yeah, you need to follow the money, bro. You know who's financing this? It's the Americans. It's not the Europeans. The
Yeah,
JP
exactly.
Morgan is financing this, bro. It's the Americans. The Europeans got nothing to do with this. Look at the
That's not
concept.
true.
The concept.
The president
No,
is Spanish.
wait. Who's financing
No, but
it?
he's corrupt.
Who's
Listen,
financing it? Follow the money, bro. Come on, bro. You can't even defend this, bro. You can't defend this. JP Morgan is financing the league.
The games
The
won't
American
only be
company.
played in Europe. There will be games in America.
Bro,
I'm telling you,
no,
100%.
100%. You know, there's gonna be home games in Singapore for Arsenal in a couple of years' time. There's gonna be home games in China, home games everywhere. It's gonna be the NFL, but worse. Bro,
exactly.
they're trying to do the NFL, bro. And you know it's true. You know it's true. They're trying to screw the fans.
Forget the fans. What about the players and what about the managers as well? Think about it. They're gonna have to do all this traveling and go to about 1,000 different countries. What, to play just a match and they don't get any monetary reward out of it? What's the point of it? So basically, they've disrespected the players who play for the club. They've disrespected past players. Think about Arsenal, for example. Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Vieira, all these invincibles that won you major trophies, all their hard work goes down the toilet. For what? To create a new division where this Arsenal team, if they come against these teams, I'm sorry, Gal, you get spanked by all of them. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, it's just a fact. But even going into this just is a disrespect to all the past legends been at your club. Ian Wright, George Graham, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, as I mentioned, at Chelsea, Roy Bentley, Peter Osgood, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, at Man City, that's not too many, but now at Man United, for example, all these legends, they're just going to get dashed aside for what? The legacy, hundreds of years of history is going to get dashed aside for these American owners to make money. That's why Stan Kroenke's not been putting money into your club. That's why John Henry.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, bro. That's what I was gonna say too.
listen.
Like now it makes sense, Igal, that Kroenke has never invested in the team. Every single season coming out saying, wait for the project, we're gonna sustainable model, bro. Everything makes sense. You was been waiting for this, bro. I'm telling you, everything makes sense.
Can I tell you guys something?
Arteta as the manager makes sense because watch now, yeah, Igal, watch now. They're gonna fire him just the way they did Jose, yeah.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
gonna fire him. Watch, they're gonna fire him.
Okay, no, I haven't seen Ozil or Podolski's tweet. I'm gonna go check that out. But what is the Super League? The Super League is going to be a league with the top teams in world's football. You're gonna have 12 of the top teams have already agreed to join the Super League. What's going to happen subsequently is that they're going to form their own European competition separate from UEFA and the Champions League, and they're going to have a midweek tournament during midweek with all the teams playing each other twice. They're going to have about either 18 or 15 teams, either 30 or 32 games, and they're still sorting this out as we speak.
What my question is, why are Real Madrid? Why are Real Madrid in it? Because they've won.
Real Madrid are the heads actually organizing this.
No, they're
Yeah,
not.
but they've won
Bro,
30
they're not, bro. It's the
Champions
Americans,
League
bro.
titles.
It's the Americans.
No. Sahal, you're
Bro,
gonna have
why
to
you
stop.
lying, bro? It's the Americans.
Sahal, you're making stuff up. The fact of the situation is,
they're not though.
listen.
Isn't-
Stop.
Bro.
I actually read this. I've read numerous reports on this. It says specifically that Florentino Perez is the creator, the organizer, and the main cog who has made everything possible.
Of course,
Bro,
Yeah.
I read reports from the Madrid thingy saying that the American owners were a big part to play in this.
Yeah, they
The
are a big
American
part.
owners they were the major, and the reason why they said basically, if you look back on the decision making of these American owners, it makes sense.
Perez is the head. He's actually the leader. Okay,
Yeah,
do
but
you guys
what
know
about
they have a
the others? Why are you
website?
not giving the others the blame, bro? Because they are
I'm not
also
giving anyone blame. I'm just giving you the facts. You're talking from emotion. I get that. Calm down, mate. Please.
No,
One
but
second.
you're not talking about the American owners though. They are as
I-
culpable as Perez.
Yes,
Bro.
they're a problem.
Bro,
Yeah.
relax. I'm talking about everybody. But the facts of the situation is, as much as we hate Stan Kroenke, as much as we hate Joe Glazer, as much as we don't want FSG to be even part of this, because Liverpool have been irrelevant for 30 years, and now they're on par with everybody else. My point is, the person who has started this and has led the charge from the beginning, who got everyone involved, was number 1, Perez. Number 2, Glazers. Number 3, Kroenke. Number 4, you got the guy from Liverpool, FSG. And finally, I would say is Inter Milan. Those are the
Juventus
5 people.
as well.
So only 3 of them are American. You're talking about Americans. It's not only them. There's 2
I'm not
others
saying it's
involved that you're
I'm
not
saying
mentioning.
they're also a big driving force. That's what I said. They're a big
Okay.
driving force.
Okay, I hear that. Let me continue the show. Now, if you want me to bring up the picture of the actual people, I will bring up the picture right here. Let's go. Here's the picture of the actual people. I'll get you the pictures. I'll give you the faces and the names of each one of them. These are the people who are actually in charge of the actual situation. You have Joe Glazer, Manchester United. John Henry, Liverpool. I forget. Is this the Inter Milan?
You know, Juventus.
No,
That's
Juventus.
Andrea Agnelli.
Is he Juventus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Juventus.
Juventus. You got Stan Kroenke and you got Florentino Perez.
41%. Jesus.
No,
Of
but
course it is.
this is just a joke, obviously, right? When it comes down to it, these are the guys. These are the guys who have started this, who have led the charge. These are the faces of the guys who have led the charge. Yes, there's 3 Americans on that list.
It doesn't matter where they're from. They're all frauds. You can be from
Yeah,
America,
but
Europe,
honestly,
Africa. No, one
yeah,
second.
go on.
It doesn't matter who it is. Roman Abramovich as well, as much as I do think that the Man City and Chelsea owners were sort of forced into this because otherwise they'd become redundant, I blame him as well. He could have taken a stand. He has almost more money than all these people combined. He could easily say, "Now, bun this. We're not going to drink." But ultimately, you know what's going to happen, Miguel? You see all these little clubs in the flipping Championship and League One, League Two, they're all going to go into administration now. You're never going to see Grimsby Town. You're never going to see Nottingham Forest win the Champions League again. All these clubs that have been grafting and grinding to work their way up through the 4 divisions of English football, what's the reward? What's the reward?
They have a website, you know. They have a website now. Let's go on the website. Let's go on the website. They've done a press release. Look at this. Look at this. They've done a press release. Leading European clubs announced a new Super League competition. 12 teams in football, leading football clubs to have come together to announce they're establishing a new midweek competition called the Super League. The governing body, it's founded by AC Milan, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Tottenham, all joining as founders of the club. Right? This is how the subsequent tournament will work. If you guys can see it, it will be a 20-team. It will be a 20. There will be 20 clubs with 15 founding members that automatic have qualifier memberships. Right. Then you will have midweek fixtures, right, with particular clubs competing in their national leagues and preserving their traditions of their domestic match calendar, which remains at the heart of their clubs. In August, any August, start with clubs, particularly 2 groups of 10, and playing home and away fixtures with. Okay, so they're gonna basically it's gonna be 2 groups. And each group will automatically qualify for the. Each group will have 3 people who automatically qualify for the quarterfinals. The remaining 5 people who finish 5th or 4th will compete over a 2-legged tie, which will then the winners will automatically advance to the quarterfinal. Each tie will be 2-legged knockout format, which may end in May, which in this stages will be single fixture venues. So that is what they've released, and specifically they have told us who the chairmen are. So you have the president, Florentino Perez, right? Juventus, Andre Agnelli is the vice chairman. Okay, you have Joe Glazer is the chairman of Manchester United, and he's also part of this. And those are the 3 people who are put their names to the actual documentation.
You know what this reminds me of, right? You know this East Conference and Western Conference in the MLS. It reminds me of that because they obviously face each other. Top 3 obviously go through. Obviously, it's partly different. But
This is what it says. So this will be the format. 8 teams, right? Will automatically qualify for the next round. Midweek games, right? And they'll remain in their competition. And they're saying this is solidarity payments will grow in line with the league's revenue and is expected to exceed 10 million during the course of the initial period of the founders. Solidarity payments will be found. The new model will be fully transparent in regard to public reporting.
Bro, Igal, how can you trust this though? Whatever they say, they're lying, bro. You really think they're gonna be transparent? Come on, man. Arsenal are the opposite. All of these clubs are the opposite of transparent. Bro, how can you believe a word these owners are saying?
It's supposedly supposed to start in August.
Bro, I have never thought one night would change football forever like last night. I never thought a situation like this will ever happen. Literally one night changed the world. Football world forever.
Mm.
forever. Football's gonna be dead, bro. It's gonna be the NBA. Watch, it's gonna be the regular season. It's gonna be no purpose, just like the NBA and the NFL. There's gonna be no purpose to the regular season. Everyone's gonna hate it. No one's gonna like it. I don't understand what they're doing, man. I don't understand what these guys are doing. They're trying to give us the NFL system. It's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work here.
Mm.
You know, this is so similar to the NFL system. It's ridiculous. No promotion, no relegation, no point of winning or losing. Winning or losing doesn't matter anymore. Especially losing doesn't matter. If I lose, what can happen to me? Nothing. I still get money. Bro, Kroenke is probably the happiest person ever, bro. He gets no losses at all.
Man says Arsenal will be the new Sheffield United in that league. I don't think so, man. I generally don't think we're going to be that. We're not going to be that. It's not going to be that kind of situation. But when it comes down to it, this is honestly, it's very crazy.
Bro,
It's
I never thought. You ever thought this can happen? Honestly,
Yeah, I never expected it.
bro. When I heard announcements coming out, I thought it was a joke at first. I thought this was a prank. Ain't nothing coming out because it took forever. The announcement took forever. Even, bro, if you look at the announcement, it was in American time. Because remember, it was proper late. The announcement. The announcement last night. Why did they do it at night? Think about it, bro. They doing it to appease the American fans. The target audience is the American fans. It's not the Europeans. They don't care.
Okay, let's explain the European Super League for everyone who needs. Let's explain what the European Super League is for anyone who doesn't already know what the European Super League is. Okay, so first things first, we're going to explain this from the jump. So the European Super League, you have 12 teams who've subsequently joined the European Super League, right? And they've released a statement. This is their official website. You can go find it. It's thesuperleague.com. Okay, so on this website, they have announced that 12 teams will be leading the way to start a new subsequent league called the European Super League. The 12 teams obviously are the 12 teams that we've mentioned on this list right here. As you can see, AC Milan, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Tottenham, right? They will subsequently be joined by a couple more teams to form a league with 20 teams, right? That 20-team league will now compete midweek fixtures and still preserve the traditions and values of the domestic calendar, which remains the heart of their club. Okay, I hear that, but that's not true. But now, when it comes to this, they're going to be starting this in August, right? And they will be starting this with three of the top teams in each group, which is going to be two groups of 20 teams, two groups of 10 teams. 3 teams automatically advance to the quarterfinals, which is the round of 16, right? Then you're going to have the remaining fourth and fifth teams will have to face each other in a 2-legged tie to determine who qualifies for that quarterfinals. Now, then you're going to have a knockout stage for the until you get to the final, and then the final will be a single neutral venue situation where the teams will play. The founder and the president is Florentino Perez of Real Madrid. Juventus is chairman Andre, and you have another co-chairman, Joe Glazer of Manchester United, right? And this is the format that they've completely explained to us as their website, right? And they specifically say that they will be keeping solidarity payments to grow their league's revenue, expecting to exceed about 10 billion during this time. So they will do this, and they will still be making payments for their respective leagues. Interesting. So that's what it says, people. That's what the information is on the table. That's what it says. You guys can go check out the website yourself if you want. It says it right there on the and these are the teams that are on the website. That is the best explanation I can give you guys of what the Super League is. And yeah, there you go.
Egal. One thing though, that payment is not close to the Premier League money. You know, each team gets like 100 million. Each team gets like 100 million to stay in the Premier League. So that's not even close. 10 million is pennies on the dollar. They trying to cheapskate. Because if the Premier League revenue in the TV deal gives each team a fair amount. It doesn't matter where you're in the Premier League. Even relegated teams get a lot of money. So this is like 10 million. What's 10 million to almost 100 million per team? That's nothing, bro. They literally trying to cheapskate. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do, man. Hopefully the players are against it, man. I pray that the players are against this. I pray that everyone, the youth community and everyone's against it, and this doesn't happen. And I hope these clubs get fined. I hope these clubs get punished for this, because what they have done, honestly, I would not mind to see Arsenal get relegated for it, because this is literally could destroy the league. That's how bad it is, bro. This is not a joke. If this was a joke, no one would talk about it. But this ain't no
question.
joke.
Good question. So Harris has asked, what about the World Cup? You know what? Let's get to that question, right? Let's get to that question. What about the World Cup? Have you heard what happened about the World Cup and what they've said?
Yeah. About Paris. Basically, I heard that Paris don't want to join the league because of the World Cup. That's why they don't want to join. But I heard now reports that Paris are willing to join. So I'm not sure what's exactly going on with that situation yet. So it's still up in the air, basically.
Okay, so this is the report. Let me get it up on the screen. This is what it reports. UEFA just released a statement, right? 14 hours ago. Clubs playing in the Super League are out of all UEFA and FIFA competitions, and UEFA will sue the clubs, particularly in the Super Leagues, for around 50 to 60 million euros. This is what they're saying. So they're going to be subsequently trying to ban teams. This is what they've been saying. I've been listening to some of these guys, and some of the stuff that's been coming out has been absolutely ridiculous. Where is it? You have DT on the thing. You have guys like Boris Johnson talking about the Super League. Boris Johnson saying, "I don't think this is good news for football fans in the country." Like, look at these proposals. Interesting. You have Liverpool. One of the club's owners, said it would be prepared to leave the Premier League if they had to. Some owners would secretly be delighted if their players were banned from the World Cup. Wow!
They don't have to play games. Yeah, I saw that one. I tweeted that one too. Basically, they're saying they don't want their players to play extra games. I tweeted that one. What's it called? It comes from Madrid Zone. Check Madrid Zone.
No, that's Anfield Watch.
No. It came from Madrid Zone. You know that thing. Check on Madrid Zone. I swear that came because I tweeted that just like a couple of minutes ago.
Arsene Wenger already mentioned this before in the past.
Bro, Wenger needs to save us, bro. Only Wenger can save us now.
Yeah. Last goal in the Champions League was scored by Theo Walcott.
How embarrassing, bro. Our last Europe. I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Wenger, save us, please.
Arsenal have signed. Who gives a shit if Arsenal have signed their race to sign some guy? This is mad. What does it say about Stan Kroenke? Stan Kroenke has not been appointed as a vice chair of the Super League. Arsenal have just been placed on the board along with the 11 clubs. You see? He's not a vice chair. What happened now?
That's interesting. This is the one about the TV rights right here.
Okay. Oh! Super League owners are tempted to drive a service, Formula One series, on Netflix, making a series of the Premier League Super League season would be a good possibility.
Go down. Go down. Look at that
Yeah,
one.
this
That
one.
one's
This
Super
one.
League owners are looking to secure a broadcasting deal like Amazon, Facebook, Disney, or Comcast would raise the annual revenue by up to 4 billion,
Wow.
twice as much as the UCL right now.
bro.
It's
Wow.
We
all
need to
about
watch
money
this,
right
bro.
there.
Real Betis thing, Villarreal released a statement against the Super League. Interesting. A group of Liverpool ultras display a banner on Anfield and have said that they will never remove all flags from the stadium.
They said
There's
they will remove all flags.
what?
They're gonna remove all flags from the stadium.
Yeah. We feel we have no longer given our support to our club, which puts the financial greed above integrity of the game. Liverpool fans are against the European Super League.
That's what we need to do, bro. See the Liverpool fans. That's what we need to do. We need to do exactly the same thing in Arsenal. I respect the Liverpool fans because Arsenal fans, I don't think we might not do it. We might not do this. Liverpool fans will like
Listen,
protest
listen.
against it.
This is not comparable to the NBA in any way or form. You cannot compare this to the NBA. I am sorry. You cannot compare this to the NBA. The difference
Yeah.
between what's going on with this and what's going on with the NBA is the NBA is is a league that was combined by two different leagues. The NBA had the ABA and the NBA. They came as one, they joined, and they became one league, right?
Yeah.
And they're the only two leagues that actually play basketball in North America. So they came together. This right here is a global game, and they're trying to take teams from all over Europe and play within one league, right? Subsequently, turn it into an alternative of the Champions League, and they are trying to make it so there's no relegation. In
Exactly.
basketball, there is no level of relegation already. In basketball, if you're the worst team, you're rewarded with draft picks and you're rewarded with financial parity. So the team that wins the championship and the team that's last share, so they don't get the same, so they never go bust. So when you're saying this is copying the NBA model, no, this is probably taking the worst of the NFL and mixing it with the worst of football and trying to just make this monster of just for casual fans. That's what I genuinely believe this has turned into. This has turned
Yeah,
into
yeah.
something to try to improve the TV viewing experience for casual fans. That's what I think.
Yeah, the reason why people are saying it's an NBA copy, they see all these American owners. They see Kroenke, they see the Glazers, John Henry. That's why they think it's like an NBA copy. You got all these Americans like making this league, but it's not the same thing. Like it's really not the same thing. NBA and the European Super League. Like at least in the NBA, like it's like you mentioned, last team gets draft picks, like their first in the
There's
draft
way
order.
more Leicesters in the NBA than there is in football. Let's be real.
Yeah, yeah, that's spot on right there. That's
Wait
spot
on,
on.
but they did. No small team wins the league though in the American sports.
No, that's not
When's the
true.
last time? What?
The
Tell me one
Raptors.
small team.
The Raptors.
That's like that's one example. I'm saying give me a handful. That's what I'm trying to say. There's only a
No, it
handful.
happens
I'm
all the
not saying the
time.
Premier League is perfect.
Dallas Mavericks.
The Pistons have won it. The
The
Mavs, the
Pistons won it.
Raptors.
You got Miami even won it the first time before they were massive. And then you
Yeah,
also have even in the NFL, you have teams that have won Super Bowls for their first time in their history, like Kansas City Chiefs winning the first time in their history a couple seasons ago. You have in hockey every single year you have teams that are winning it for the first time. This is nothing comparable to that, right?
yeah. I don't think it's anything similar. I mean, the only thing is there's no relegation. There's no relegation in both tournaments. That's probably the only similar thing, and that's about it. But it's like
Yeah.
totally different sports, totally different benefits for the teams, so it's not really comparable. And like you have to look at it in this way. Like yeah, there's Americans controlling this league, but we can't pretend like Roman Abramovich and then the Man City owners aren't involved either. They're just as responsible being in this league as are the American owners like the Kroenkes and the Glazers. So you have to keep that in mind as well, guys.
Oh my God, European Super League would win any court case brought by UEFA and FIFA, says expert lawyer, and he insists the Premier League would also fail to try to kick out the top 6 clubs. What?
It's
I
a
don't
huge
know about
gamble
that. I
if the
don't. Where do you get the report from?
Let me
Share
show it
it.
to you guys on the thing.
yeah. That's a huge gamble for those
The Daily
tournaments.
Mail. It's from the Daily Mail. So this is what it says. Uh,
Yeah, that is just that's a huge gamble, to be honest, because like FIFA are saying if these players are involved, then they won't be able to play in the World Cup and other tournaments. That's a huge gamble. If you don't have those players in the World Cup, then I mean, it's only going to get worse for FIFA. It's going to get worse for the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, all those tournaments if they can't participate. So the power really is in the hands of the clubs in the Super Leagues.
Look at that. So the European Super Leagues would win any court case brought to them by UEFA or FIFA, says expert lawyer. He insists the Premier League would also fail if they tried to kick out the top 6.
Damn, that is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, the initial plan, I think they did they did think through this. If you ask me, because I think they know like you have all of these powerful figures in the clubs, like, and you know the way they set it up, they deliberately wanted the European Super League matches,
People are
right?
saying they want me to read it. Let me read it. The 12 teams behind the European Super League have already started legal actions. Okay, breaking away competition says it will fight any attempt to try to ban its move, and it moves bring sanctions against the clubs and players, particularly in the new league. Uh, a legal expert in in competitive sports law says they are a very good chance of success. He also goes on to say the Premier League and UEFA are determined to rule against any squeezing out of the clubs and prepared to risk participation in new tournaments. So he's basically saying that it's unlikely that this will happen, and it's unlikely that any lawsuit of any kind against the Premier League teams would happen. Now, if you guys want to read the full article, I can send the link to you guys in the chat, and you guys can check that full article out. But of course, I will not be sitting here reading the whole article because it's quite long. But yeah, he's saying there's one specific point that I will read though. He says the court is right to the court is the right way to go. They have a good chance of winning. There are good perspective for starting the Super League and the clubs that take part. So if they do go to court, they have a good chance of this actually progressing a lot quicker, and that they subsequently would be able to force these leagues to do to agree to whatever they want. That is what's crazy about it. If they do go to court, these guys are prepared, and the likelihood of them succeeding in court would actually be higher than the likelihood of them failing in court. And right now, Alexander, the president of UEFA, is in negotiation for the new Champions League, and they've completely dropped the negotiations for the new Champions League to start this Super League.
Yeah, they had these plans for the new Champions League like a few weeks ago, if I remember. But now, like the Real Madrid president, he's just went in. He just went in right there and said, "Okay, forget the Champions League. We've got our own league now." And the way they set it up, like it's a huge risk, but I think they're willing to go all out for it. Like they deliberately planned it so you still have the domestic leagues, but have those European Super League matches in the midweek part of, so like they can still get played. So it's going to be very interesting to see how any sort of court case goes. Like, you've got the court cases, but you've also got like people like Boris Johnson. He's trying to stop this as well. So let's just see what happens.
Okay.
It's gonna be crazy.
Ian Wright, 2 words on his verdict for the European Super League announcement. He says that the European Super League announcement is. What do you think?
I think it's gonna be something negative. So it's like he probably hates it.
He thinks it's a disgrace.
A disgrace. Yeah, spot on.
No, absolutely shameful. That's what he said.
Yeah. I mean, when you're a legend of a club like Arsenal, the history of Arsenal, and you see, you just decide to throw all of that into the bin and go for the Super League. I can see the position he's coming from, Like, all the hard work players like him did for Arsenal, it's like, it's just gone now if they go to the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me show you what Ian Wright put on his Twitter. This is what Ian Wright put on his Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, about the whole situation. Ian Wright put on his Twitter, absolutely shameful at Arsenal. He put this message out, and in this message, remember who you are, who you represent. Remember who you are and what you are, and who you represent. That's what Arsenal's about. Right?
That's a very strong message.
Yeah. So it's quite emotional by him, and this is just another one of those situations. Now, guys, honestly, we've been going for a while now, about an hour. I'm going to clip these up and repost them for you guys. Do me a favor, smash a like on the video if you haven't already, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. And you know what, guys? We're out of here. I'll see you guys soon. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. BGTV, you already know. And if you're on your phone, it's